I walked into my daughter's house on a Saturday afternoon. Early, unannounced. She'd given me a key months ago. Come over anytime. Dad, you're always welcome. So I did. Big mistake. The house was messy. Dishes piled in the sink. Toys scattered everywhere. My 3-year-old grandson's things covering every surface. Normal family chaos. But what caught my attention was the noise from the living room. Shouting. My daughter Emily's voice. Strained. Defensive. I'm trying, okay? I'm doing my best. Then a male voice. Sharp. Angry. My son-in-law Derek. Your best isn't good enough. This house is a disaster. You're home all day. What exactly are you doing? I stood in the hallway. Frozen. Should I announce myself? Leave? Intervene? I'm taking care of our son. That's a full-time job. Please. He's in daycare 3 days a week. What do you do the other 2 days? Clearly not cleaning. Clearly not cooking. I come home to this mess every night. I'm exhausted, Derek. Being a mother is hard. I need help. Help? I work 60 hours a week. Provide everything for this family. The least you could do is keep the house clean. I'd heard enough. Started to turn around. Leave before this got worse. Then I heard Derek say something that stopped me cold. Maybe I should have married someone more capable. Someone who could actually handle being a wife. Emily started crying. That's cruel. You know I'm trying. I've been dealing with my dad's health issues. The stress of mom's anniversary. I'm overwhelmed. Your dad? What about your dad? He's been sick. The heart problems. The medications. I'm worried about him. Derek laughed. Actually laughed. Your dad is fine. Stop using him as an excuse. He's probably at home right now watching TV, living off his pension. Meanwhile, I'm working myself to death supporting this family. That's not fair. Fair? You want to talk about fair? I could have married Vanessa. She's a lawyer now, makes 6 figures. Instead, I married you, a stay-at-home mom who can't even keep the house clean. That's when I stepped into the living room. They both turned. Emily's face was red and tear-streaked. Derek looked annoyed at the interruption. Dad, what are you doing here? Emily rushed to wipe her eyes. I used my key. Should have called first. I'm sorry. Derek's expression shifted, from annoyance to fake warmth, like flipping a switch. Martin, good to see you. We were just having a discussion. Nothing serious. A discussion? Right. Sounded pretty serious to me. Just typical married couple stuff. You understand. He smiled. That charming smile he used at family gatherings. The one that fooled everyone. Actually, I don't understand. Insulting your wife? Comparing her to old girlfriends? That's not how you treat someone you love. Derek's smile tightened. With all due respect, Martin, this is between Emily and me. Family stuff. Emily is my family. Of course. I just meant, private couple business. I'm sure you and Emily's mother had disagreements. We had disagreements. We never had verbal abuse. Never had one person tearing the other down. Never had cruelty disguised as honesty. Verbal abuse? Come on. I was just expressing frustration. I work hard. Come home to a mess. I have a right to be upset. You have a right to communicate respectfully. You don't have a right to belittle the mother of your child. Derek's facade cracked. The charm vanished. Look, I don't know what you think you heard, but you're overreacting. Emily knows I didn't mean anything by it. He turned to Emily. Tell him, babe. Tell him we're fine. Emily looked between us. Torn. Scared. We're fine, Dad. Derek's just stressed from work. It's not a big deal. Emily, really, Dad? It's okay. We'll work it out. Derek smirked. See? We're fine. Thanks for stopping by, Martin. But maybe next time, call first. We value our privacy. He gestured toward the door, dismissing me from my daughter's house. Emily, if you need anything at all, you call me. Understand? She nodded, not meeting my eyes. I left, but I didn't leave it alone. Not even close. I sat in my car outside their house, hands shaking, angry. worried, helpless. Derek had no idea who he was talking to, no idea who I was, what I could do, what I would do. He saw a retired old man, someone past his prime, someone to dismiss and disrespect. He had no idea. I pulled out my phone, made a call. Hello, James, it's Martin. I need your help. James Carter, my oldest friend, retired FBI agent. We'd known each other 40 years. Worked together on several cases before I retired. Martin, good to hear from you. What's going on? My son-in-law, Derek Harrison. I need you to run a background check, employment verification, financial records, everything. This official business? Personal, very personal. I think he's abusing my daughter. Emotionally for sure. Maybe worse. I need to know who this guy really is. Send me his information. Give me 48 hours. Thank you. I hung up and made another call. Peterson Security Consulting. This is Martin Cole. I need to speak with Thomas Peterson. One moment, sir. Thomas came on the line. Former military. Now ran a private security firm. Martin Cole. Haven't heard from you in months. How's retirement? Complicated. I need surveillance equipment. Cameras. Audio. The smallest, most discreet you have. For what purpose? Protecting my daughter. I think her husband is abusive. I need evidence. Come by the office tomorrow. I'll set you up. 2 more calls. 2 more old colleagues. Both agreed to help. By the time I drove home, I had a plan forming. Derek thought I was just some retired old man, living off a pension, watching TV all day. He had no idea I'd spent 35 years in law enforcement, 15 as a detective, 20 as FBI, specialized in domestic violence, organized crime, and financial fraud. He had no idea the resources I had, the people who owed me favors, the skills I developed. He'd call me an excuse, a burden, someone Emily used to avoid responsibility. Time to show him exactly who Martin Cole was. That night, I couldn't sleep. Kept replaying the scene. Derek's words. Emily's tears. The way she defended him. Classic abuse victim behavior. Protecting the abuser. Making excuses. Minimizing. My late wife, Sarah, would have known what to do. She'd been a therapist. Specialized in trauma and abuse. She helped countless women leave dangerous situations. 3 years since cancer took her. 3 years of me trying to be both parents to Emily, trying to support her, guide her. But I'd missed this, missed the signs. Derek had been charming at first. Successful pharmaceutical sales rep. Good money. Nice guy. Or so he seemed. The wedding had been beautiful. Emily was so happy. I'd walked her down the aisle, handed her to Derek, trusted him to care for her. Now I wonder how long the mask had stayed on. When had the charm turned control, the compliments to criticism, the love to manipulation? I pulled out old case files from my office, not official ones, personal notes, patterns in abuse cases, red flags, warning signs. Derek fit the profile perfectly. Isolation. Emily had dropped friends after the marriage, barely saw her college roommates anymore. Too busy, she'd say. Or Derek doesn't really like them. Financial control. Did Emily have access to their money? Or did Derek handle everything? Verbal abuse. I'd witnessed that firsthand. Belittling. Comparing. Undermining. What else was happening when I wasn't there? Physical abuse? Sexual coercion? More severe control? I needed to know. Needed evidence. Needed to build a case strong enough that Emily couldn't deny it. That Derek couldn't talk his way out of. The next morning, I drove to Thomas's office. He had equipment ready. 3 micro cameras, audio recording devices, GPS trackers. This is a serious gear, Martin. If you get caught, there could be legal issues. I'm aware, but my daughter's safety is worth the risk. Just be careful. And Martin, whatever you find, don't do anything stupid. Don't confront him alone. Call me if you need backup. Noted. Installing the equipment required getting back into Emily and Derek's house. I waited until Thursday. Derek worked. Emily had a doctor's appointment. She'd mentioned it Last week, I used my key again. The house was still messy, but I understood now. Emily was depressed, overwhelmed, probably scared. The mess wasn't laziness. It was survival. I installed cameras in 3 locations: living room, kitchen, master bedroom hallway, all disguised as everyday items. Clock, smoke detector, air freshener. The audio devices were even smaller. One in their bedroom, one in Derek's home office, one in the living room, all voice activated. Would only record when people were talking. Finally, I attached a GPS tracker to Derek's car, under the rear bumper. Magnetic, waterproof, would show me everywhere he went. I finished in 30 minutes. Tested everything remotely. All devices functioning. Feeding to a secure server. Accessible only by me. Then I left. No trace I'd been there. That evening, James called with Derek's background check. Martin, you sitting down? Should I be? Derek Harrison, 34 years old. Pharmaceutical sales rep for MedTech Solutions. Makes $70,000 base plus commission. Decent income, but not great. Okay, but here's the interesting part. He's got debt. Lots of debt. Credit cards maxed out. Car payment behind. Student loans and forbearance. Emily doesn't know. Doubt it. He's been hiding it well. But there's more. Go on. Derek has a history. Before Emily. Engaged twice. Both engagements ended badly. First girl filed a restraining order. Claimed harassment and threats after she broke it off. My blood went cold. Second girl just disappeared. Moved across country. Changed her number. Completely ghosted him. You think he was abusive? I think both women ran. And neither wanted to talk about why. I tried reaching them. First one hung up when I mentioned Derek's name. Second one refused to comment. What else? He's got a gambling problem. Online poker. Sports betting. Lost about $30,000 in the past year. That's where his debt comes from. Does Emily know any of this? If she does, she's not telling anyone. I checked her social media, her bank accounts. No indication she knows about the debt or gambling. Can you send me everything? Already in your email. Martin, be careful. This guy sounds dangerous. I spent the weekend reviewing evidence. The cameras captured everything. Friday night, Derek came home. Emily had dinner ready. Chicken, vegetables, nothing fancy but homemade. Derek took one look and sneered. This is what you made? I told you I want a steak. We're trying to save money. Steak is expensive. So what? I work hard. I deserve a good meal. Derek, we talk about budgeting. We need to cut costs. The credit cards, don't start with that again. I handle the money. You handle the house. Stay in your lane. But I'm worried. The bills are none of your business. I've got it under control. What you need to control is this disaster of a house. And maybe try to look decent when I get home. You're in yoga pants and a t-shirt. Make an effort. Emily's face crumpled, but she didn't cry. Just quietly started cleaning up dinner. Derek went to his office. I switched to that camera. He pulled out his phone. Started gambling. Online poker. Lost $300 in 20 minutes. Then he called someone. Hey, it's me. Yeah, tonight. Same place. No, she won't notice. She's too busy being useless. He laughed. Hung up. Left the house at 9. I switched to the GPS tracker. He drove to a bar across town. Stayed until midnight. Came home drunk. Emily pretended to be asleep. Saturday was worse. Derek slept until noon. Emily tiptoed around trying to keep their son quiet. Impossible with a 3-year-old. Can you keep him quiet? Derek yelled from the bedroom. I need sleep. He's 3. He doesn't understand quiet. Then take him outside. To a park. Anywhere. Just get him out of here. It's raining. So? Put him in a raincoat. Figure it out. That's your job. Emily took their son to her friend's house. The first friend I'd seen her visit in months. She came back 2 hours later. Derek was on the couch, watching TV. Where were you? Katie's house. Her daughter is the same age. They played. I don't like you going there. Katie's a bad influence. She's my friend. She's divorced. Bitter. Probably telling you to leave me. Am I right? No, Derek. We just talked. Normal friend stuff. Find new friends. Better friends. Katie's not welcome here anymore. Sunday morning brought the worst exchange yet. Emily asked Derek about money. I need grocery money. We're almost out of food. We just went shopping. That was 2 weeks ago. Food doesn't last forever. Learn to budget better. Make it stretch. I am budgeting, but I can't make food appear from nothing. Can I have $200? $200? For groceries? That's ridiculous. For a family of 3 for a week? That's reasonable. Your dad probably spends $50 a week. He's retired, on a fixed income, but he manages. My dad is also one person. We're 3, including a growing toddler. Always an excuse. Always a reason you need more money. Maybe if you got a job. We agreed I'd stay home until our son starts school. That was your idea. Yeah, well, maybe I was wrong. Maybe you need to contribute. Since you can't handle simple homemaking. Emily's voice dropped. I'm doing my best, Derek. Your best sucks. He left, slammed the door, spent the day golfing with friends. Came home at 7. Dinner wasn't ready. Are you serious? Nothing prepared. You left before I could ask what you wanted. I didn't know when you'd be home. I shouldn't have to tell you. You're the wife. The mother. Figured out. I made sandwiches. They're in the fridge. Sandwiches. Wow. So much effort. Emily didn't respond. Just went to their son's room. Put him to bed. By the time I finished reviewing 3 days of footage, I was livid, but I had evidence. Clear, undeniable evidence of emotional abuse, verbal abuse, financial control. The question was what to do with it. Showing Emily might backfire. She was still defending him, making excuses, stuck in the cycle. Confronting Derek would accomplish nothing. He'd deny everything, spin it, make himself the victim. I needed a different approach, something that would expose Derek completely, show Emily who she'd married, show Derek that his actions had consequences, and most importantly, keep Emily and my grandson safe. That's when I remembered something. Something Derek had said. Maybe I should have married someone more capable. Someone like Vanessa, the lawyer making 6 figures. I did some research. Found Vanessa. She worked at a major law firm downtown. Family law, specifically divorce and custody cases. Interesting. Monday morning, I call Vanessa's office. This is Vanessa Morrison's office. How can I help you? I need to schedule a consultation. Divorce case. It's urgent. Ms. Morrison's next available appointment is in 2 weeks. Can you tell her it's regarding Derek Harrison? I think she'll want to take this meeting sooner. Pause. Please hold. 2 minutes later. Ms. Morrison can see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Is that acceptable? Perfect. I arrived 15 minutes early. Vanessa's office was impressive. High floor, city views, expensive furniture. She met me in the conference room. Mid-30s. Professional. Sharp eyes. Mr. Cole, I understand this involves Derek Harrison? It does. He's married to my daughter Emily. I believe he's emotionally abusing her. I need your legal expertise to help her leave safely. Vanessa's expression hardened. Tell me everything. I spent an hour explaining the verbal abuse, the financial control, the pattern, the history with his previous fiancées, the gambling, the debt, the surveillance footage. When I finished, Vanessa sat back. Derek called me 2 months ago. Wanted to meet for coffee. Catch up. I declined. Something felt off. Did he say why he wanted to meet? No, but I got the sense his marriage was struggling, that he was testing the waters, seeing if I was available. You dated him? Years ago. College. He was charming at first, then controlling, jealous, mean. I broke it off. He didn't take it well. Called me constantly. Showed up at my apartment. I had to threaten legal action to make him stop. You ever file a restraining order? No. He backed off before it came to that. But barely. She pulled out a legal pad. Your daughter needs to leave. File for divorce. Get custody of her son. And she needs to do it right. With evidence. With protection. That's why I'm here. The surveillance footage will help. But we need Emily on board. She has to want this. Has to be ready to leave. She's not there yet. Still defending him. Then we wait. Document everything. Build an ironclad case. And when she's ready, we move fast. How long? Could be weeks. Could be months. Abuse victims leave on their own timeline. We can't force it. I nodded. But we can make sure she's protected when the time comes. Over the next 2 weeks, I documented everything. Every fight. Every insult. Every instance of control. Derek's behavior escalated. He stayed out later. Came home drunker. Spent more money gambling. Lost over $5,000 in 1 week. Emily noticed. Derek, we got a notice from the bank. Our account is overdrawn. What happened? Don't worry about it. I'll handle it. But we can't afford this. We have bills, rent, groceries. I said I'll handle it. Stop nagging. I'm not nagging. I'm concerned. This is our family's money. My money. I earn it. I decide how it's spent. That's not how marriage works. We're supposed to be partners. Derek laughed. Cold. Mean. Partners? You don't work. Don't contribute financially. You're not a partner. You're a dependent. Emily's face went white. How can you say that? I take care of our son. Maintain this house. Support your career. Support my career? By doing what? The bare minimum at home? Please. I'm done with this conversation. Of course you are. Because you can't handle the truth. Can't handle that you're failing as a wife. As a mother. Don't you dare say I'm failing as a mother. Look at our son. He's 3 and barely talks. That's on you. You're home with him all day. Clearly not doing enough. He talks fine. The pediatrician said he's developing normally. The pediatrician is wrong. Or lying to spare your feelings. Our son is behind because you're not engaged enough. Too busy feeling sorry for yourself. Emily walked away. I heard her crying in the bathroom. Derek didn't care. Went to his office. Gambled away another $300. This pattern continued. The verbal abuse got worse. More frequent. More cruel. Derek started criticizing Emily's appearance. Her intelligence. Her worth as a person. And Emily started believing him. I could see it in the footage. The way she carried herself. The defeat in her posture. The resignation in her voice. I needed to intervene. But carefully. One wrong move could make things worse. Could put Emily in danger. So I waited for the right moment. It came on a Wednesday afternoon. Emily called me. Crying. Barely coherent. Dad? Can you come over? I need you. I'm on my way. I arrived in 10 minutes. Emily was on the couch. Shaking. Makeup ruined. What happened? Derek and I had a fight. Worst one yet. He told me he wished he'd never married me. That I trapped him by getting pregnant. That our son ruined his life. Emily, he said he's going to leave. Find someone better. Someone who deserves him. Where is he now? He left. Went to work. Said he'd be back tonight. That we'd finish this conversation then. What does that mean? I don't know. But Dad, I'm scared. Really scared. Not for me. For our son. What if Derek tries to take him? What if he hurts him? Has Derek ever been violent? Physically? No. Not yet. But his anger is getting worse. Explosive. Unpredictable. Pack a bag. You and your son. Come stay with me. I can't just leave. Yes, you can. This isn't safe. You need space. Distance. Time to think. But what about Derek? He'll be furious. Let him be furious. At my house. Where I can deal with him. Not here where you're alone. She hesitated. Then nodded. Okay. Give me 20 minutes. She packed quickly. Clothes for her and her son. Toiletries. Important documents. We left before Derek got home. At my house, Emily finally broke down. Really broke down. Sobbed for an hour. I don't know how it got this bad. When we first met, he was so different. Kind. Attentive. Loving. That's how abusers work. They show you what you want to see, then slowly change. So slowly you don't notice until you're trapped. I feel so stupid. How did I not see it? Because you loved him, trusted him, believed the best in him. That's not stupid. That's human. What do I do now? You file for divorce. You get custody of your son. You start over. He'll fight it. He'll say terrible things. Make me look bad. Let him try. I have evidence. Lots of evidence. Video, audio, financial records. We can prove everything. She looked at me. What evidence? How? I installed cameras. Recorded everything. I'm sorry I did it without telling you. But I needed proof. Needed to show you what I was seeing. You've been recording us? For 2 weeks. Every fight. Every insult. Every moment of abuse. I have it all. That's illegal. Maybe, but it's also necessary. And I don't care about the legality. I care about your safety. Emily watched the footage. 2 weeks of abuse condensed into 3 hours. She cried through most of it. At the end, she was quiet. I didn't realize how bad it was. From the outside, watching myself, I can see it clearly. The manipulation, the control, the cruelty. Now you understand why you need to leave. I do, but I'm terrified. What if he comes after me? What if he fights for custody? What if he turns people against me? We have Vanessa Morrison, best family lawyer in the state. She knows Derek, knows his patterns. She'll protect you. Vanessa? His ex-girlfriend Vanessa? Yes. She reached out after hearing about your situation, offered to help, pro bono if necessary. Why would she do that? Because Derek did to her what he's doing to you. She got away, wants to help you do the same. Emily nodded slowly. Okay, let's do it. Let's file for divorce. The next morning we met with Vanessa. She reviewed all the evidence. This is excellent documentation. Shows clear pattern of emotional abuse. Financial control. The gambling adds another layer. What are our chances? Emily asked, for divorce? 100%. For full custody? Very high. Derek's behavior is documented. His financial instability is proven. His gambling problem is undeniable. No judge will give him primary custody. What about visitation? Supervised only. Given the verbal abuse and unstable behavior, he might get a few hours a week. In a controlled setting, with a court-appointed supervisor. He's going to be furious. Let him be. We'll get a restraining order. Protection for you and your son. If Derek violates it, he goes to jail. We file that afternoon. Divorce papers. Custody petition. Restraining order. All filed simultaneously. Derek will be served at work the next day. What do I tell him? Emily asked. Nothing. Vanessa said. Don't call him. Don't text him. Don't explain. He'll get the papers. That's all the communication necessary. He'll call, show up, demand answers. And you'll ignore him. Forward any messages to me. If he shows up at your dad's house, you call police immediately. No conversation. No negotiation. What if he apologizes? Promises to change. Emily, Vanessa's voice was firm. Abusers always apologize. Always promise to change. They never do. The cycle continues. It only ends when you end it. That night, Derek was served. I watched on the GPS tracker as he drove erratically, first to our house. Empty. Then to Emily's friend Katie's house. Not there. Then to various places. Searching. Finally, at 9 p.m., he figured it out. Drove to my house. Derek pounded on my door. Martin, I know Emily's in there. Let me see my wife. I opened the door, stepped outside, closed it behind me. Emily doesn't want to see you. She's my wife. She can't just leave. We need to talk. She tried talking. You didn't listen. Now she's communicating through lawyers. This is your fault. You turned her against me, filled her head with lies. I didn't need to fill her head with anything. Your own words did that. Your own actions. What are you talking about? I know everything, Derek. The gambling, the debt, the fights, the abuse. All of it. His face went pale, then red. You've been spying on us? I've been protecting my daughter. Something you should have been doing instead of tearing her down. I never hurt her. Never laid a hand on her. Physical abuse isn't the only kind. You've been destroying her emotionally, systematically, for months. That's ridiculous. We had normal married couple arguments. Everyone fights. Everyone doesn't tell their spouse they're worthless, that they're a failure, that they wish they'd married someone else. I was frustrated. People say things when they're frustrated. People who love each other don't say those things. Not repeatedly, not deliberately, not designed to hurt and control. Derek stepped closer. Aggressive. You don't know what it's like. Being married to her. The pressure. The expectations. She's not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But she deserves respect. Support. Love. You gave her none of those things. I work 60 hours a week. I provide for that family. What more does she want? She wanted a partner. Not a tyrant. Not someone who gambles away their savings. Not someone who hides debt and lies about money. How do you know about the gambling? I know everything. Your credit cards. Your online betting. Your trips to the casino. The $30,000 you've lost. Emily didn't know. But I did. You investigated me? Who do you think you are? Someone who protects his family. Someone who doesn't let abusers hide behind charm. Someone who sees you for exactly what you are. Derek's fist clenched. You're going to regret this. I'll fight the divorce. Fight for custody. Make Emily's life hell. Try it. We have evidence. Video. Audio. Financial records. 2 weeks of documented abuse. Plus testimony from your previous fiancés. You'll lose. Previous fiancés? What are you talking about? The 2 women before Emily. The ones who filed restraining orders. The ones who ran away. We found them. They're willing to testify. That wasn't entirely true. But Derek didn't know that. His face went white. You can't do this. I'll sue you for invasion of privacy. For harassment. Good luck with that. Everything I did was to protect my daughter from a documented threat. Any judge will agree. You're insane. Emily married me. That means I'm family. You can't just cut me out. Watch me. Derek lunged. Tried to push past me. Get to the door. I stopped him. Years of law enforcement training kicked in. Grabbed his wrist. Twisted. Put him face first against the wall. Don't move. Get off me. This is assault. No, this is preventing trespassing. You're on my property. Threatening my family. I have every right to defend them. I pulled out my phone. Called 911. I need police at 2847 Oak Street. Man attempting to force entry. Possibly violent. Restraining order in effect. Derek struggled. There's no restraining order yet. Actually, there is. Filed today. Effective immediately. You're violating it right now. Police arrived within 5 minutes. I explained the situation. Showed them the restraining order documentation. They arrested Derek. Violation of protective order. Plus attempted assault. I didn't assault anyone. He attacked me. Sir, there are cameras. I pointed to my security system. Everything's recorded. You approached aggressively. Attempted unauthorized entry. Lunged at me when I refused. The officers reviewed the footage. Yeah, you're going in. Can't violate a restraining order hours after it's filed. Judge won't like that. They put Derek in the patrol car. He was screaming, threatening lawsuits, swearing revenge, yelling for Emily. The neighbors watched, filmed on their phones. Derek's public humiliation was complete. After the police left, I went inside. Emily was watching from the window, pale, shaking. Is he gone? For now, he's arrested. will probably spend the night in jail. Tomorrow he'll face a judge. The restraining order violation will be on record. What does that mean for the divorce? Means it's almost certainly going in your favor. Judges don't look kindly on people who violate restraining orders hours after filing. Shows poor impulse control, disrespect for legal process, potential danger. Emily sat down. I can't believe this is happening. My marriage is over. My son's father is in jail. Everything's falling apart. No, everything's coming together. You're safe. Your son is safe. You're starting a new life, free from abuse. That's not falling apart. That's building up. It doesn't feel like building up. It will, eventually. Right now it feels like chaos, like everything's wrong. But you're doing the right thing, the hard thing, the necessary thing. What if I can't do this? What if I'm not strong enough? Emily, you survived 2 years of emotional abuse. You're plenty strong. You just forgot. Derek made you forget, made you doubt yourself. That stops now. She hugged me, tight. Thank you, Dad, for everything, for seeing what I couldn't see, for protecting us, for being here. That's what fathers do. The next morning, Derek appeared before a judge. Vanessa attended on Emily's behalf. The judge was not impressed. Mr. Harrison, you violated a restraining order 3 hours after it was filed. You approached your father-in-law's residence, attempted forced entry, became aggressive when denied access. Care to explain? Your Honor, I was upset. Just found out my wife filed for divorce. I wanted to talk to her, work things out. By violating a legal order? By becoming physical? That's not working things out. That's harassment. I didn't hurt anyone. This time. But the restraining order exists because there's reason to believe you might. The court takes these orders seriously. Violations have consequences. I understand, Your Honor. It won't happen again. You're right about that. Bail is set at $10,000. You're ordered to stay a minimum of 100 yards from Emily Cole Harrison, her son, and Martin Cole at all times. Violation will result in immediate arrest and extended jail time. Do you understand? Yes, Your Honor. You'll also undergo anger management evaluation, court-ordered counseling, random drug and alcohol testing. All costs paid by you. Derek's face was red, angry, but he agreed. What choice did he have? He posted bail through a bondsman, got out that afternoon. Vanessa called me immediately. Derek's out. Emily should stay with you indefinitely, until the divorce is finalized. How long will that take? With his restraining order violation? Fast. Maybe 3 months. Judge will want to resolve this quickly given the circumstances. And custody? Temporary custody granted to Emily. Derek gets supervised visitation, 2 hours a week, at a court-approved facility, with a monitor present. He'll hate that. He'll live with it, or lose all parental rights. His choice. Derek chose to comply. Barely. He showed up to his first supervised visit angry, demanding. The monitor reported his behavior. Mr. Harrison was aggressive, questioned his son about his mother, asked inappropriate questions about living arrangements, tried to turn the child against Emily. Is that ground to reduce visitation? Emily asked. Potentially, if it continues. We'll document everything. Build a case for full termination of parental rights if necessary. I don't want to keep my son from his father. I just want safety. Safety comes first. If Derek can't behave appropriately during supervised visits, he doesn't deserve unsupervised time. Meanwhile, I continued investigating Derek because something didn't add up. His gambling losses were too consistent, too large. Nobody loses $30,000 slowly over time. That's either addiction or something worse. I called James. Need another favor. Derek's gambling. I want to know who he's gambling with. Legitimate sites or underground? That's what I need you to find out. James investigated. Call me back 3 days later. Martin, Derek's into something bad. Really bad. The gambling isn't recreational. It's connected. Connected how? Organized crime. He's been betting with a loan shark named Vincent Moretti. Owes about $45,000 now with interest. Moretti? That name sounds familiar. Should be. We investigated him 10 years ago. Wire fraud, loan sharking, extortion. Never got enough to prosecute. He's still operating. Still dangerous. How deep is Derek? Deep enough that he can't pay back. Moretti's been threatening him. That's probably why Derek's behavior escalated. He's under pressure. Desperate. Does Emily know? Doubt it. Derek hid everything else. Why not this? I sat with this information. Derek wasn't just an abuser. He was a man in serious trouble, owing money to dangerous people, which meant Emily and my grandson could be in danger, not just from Derek, from his creditors. James, what happens if Derek can't pay? Moretti collects another way. Family members, assets, violence, whatever it takes. Can we stop it? We can try. But Martin, this is above your pay grade. This is active organized crime. You're retired. Let the current agents handle it. My daughter is involved. My grandson. I can't just step back. Then be smart about it. Don't go after Moretti alone. Don't confront Derek about it. Let the system work. But the system was slow, and danger was immediate. I made a decision. A risky one, but necessary. I called an old contact. Someone I'd worked with on organized crime cases. Someone still active. Special Agent Frank Morrison. Frank, it's Martin Cole. I need a favor. Martin? Haven't heard from you since retirement. What's going on? I explained everything. Derek, the abuse, the divorce, the gambling, the debt to Moretti. I need you to investigate, build a case, get Moretti, and protect my family in the process. That's a tall order. I know, but if anyone can do it, it's you. You know Moretti's operation, know how he works. Give me everything you have, financial records, evidence of Derek's gambling, communications, everything. I sent it all. Frank promised to move fast. Meanwhile, Derek's behavior became more erratic. He started calling Emily from different numbers, leaving voicemails. Emily, we need to talk. I'm in trouble. Serious trouble. Please call me back. Emily forwarded everything to Vanessa. Should I respond? Absolutely not. He's trying to manipulate you, create sympathy, make you feel responsible for his problems. Don't fall for it. But the calls continued, getting more desperate. Emily, people are threatening me because of the divorce, because of the legal fees. I need money. Your dad has money. He can help. Please. Then another. I know you're staying with your dad. I know he's been investigating me. Tell him to stop. Tell him it's dangerous. For all of you. That message scared Emily. Dad, what does he mean? How is it dangerous? I showed her the information about Moretti, about the loan shark, about Derek's real debt. Derek owes $45,000 to a dangerous man, a criminal. He can't pay. And when people can't pay Moretti, bad things happen. What kind of bad things? Violence, threats, sometimes worse. Moretti uses family members as leverage. You and your son could be targets. Emily's face went white. We need protection. Police. Something. Already arranged. Frank Morrison is FBI. He's investigating. Building a case against Moretti. In the meantime, we have security here. Cameras. Alarms. And I have my service weapon. We're safe. I brought this into your life. My terrible marriage. Derek's problems. Now you're in danger because of me. No. Derek brought this into all our lives. By lying, by gambling, by making terrible choices. This is his fault, not yours. That night, Derek tried something new. He showed up at my house. Didn't approach. Just sat in his car across the street, watching. Frank called immediately. Martin, Derek's outside your house. GPS tracker shows he's been there an hour. I know. I can see him. Want me to send patrol? Not yet. He's not violating the restraining order. He's on a public street, far enough away, technically legal. What's he doing? Watching, waiting, maybe working up courage to do something stupid. Or maybe he's casing the place, planning something. Either way, we're ready. Derek sat there until midnight, then drove away. The next night, same thing, parked across the street, watched the house, left at midnight. He's establishing a pattern, Frank said, testing your response, seeing if you call police, seeing if you come out. He's planning something. What do you suggest? Let him think he has the advantage. Let him believe you're not paying attention. Then when he makes his move, we catch him. Use Emily and my grandson as bait. No, use security as protection while we gather evidence. Derek's building towards something, a confrontation, an attempt at contact. When he does, we'll have him on multiple violations. Lock him up, keep him away permanently. 3 days later, Derek made his move. 2 a.m, I was awake, watching security monitors. Saw him approach the house. He was carrying something. Bolt cutters. He cut through the fence in the backyard, approached the back door, tried the lock. It held. He moved to a window, tried to pry it open. Security alarms blared. Lights flooded the yard. Derek froze, looked directly at the camera. I called 911. Then Frank. Derek just attempted breaking and entering. Everything recorded. Police arrived in 4 minutes. Found Derek still in the backyard, trying to run but trapped by the fence he'd cut. I just wanted to talk to my wife. She won't answer my calls. So you break into her father's house at 2 a.m.? With bolt cutters? I wasn't breaking in. I was just checking if she was safe. By cutting through a fence? By attempting forced entry? That's not checking safety. That's burglary. They arrested him. Again. This time, bail was denied. Mr. Harrison, this is your second violation of a restraining order, plus attempted burglary, breaking and entering, destruction of property. You're a danger to the community. You'll remain in custody until trial. Derek lost it, started screaming about how this was all my fault, how I'd turned Emily against him, how I'd ruined his life. That should teach him, he yelled as they led him away. Martin Cole thinks he's so smart, but he has no idea who he's dealing with, no idea what's coming. The officers removed him from the courtroom. The judge looked at me. Mr. Cole, do you feel safe? Not entirely. My son-in-law is unstable, desperate, and connected to dangerous people. Connected how? I explained about Moretti, about the debt, about the threats. The judge's expression hardened. This is bigger than family court. I'm referring this to federal authorities. Mr. Harrison will remain in custody indefinitely, for everyone's safety. That evening, Frank visited. Derek's arrest opened new avenues. We can pressure him, offer a deal, testimony against Moretti in exchange for reduced charges. Will he take it? Depends how scared he is. Moretti's organization is dangerous. Testifying against him is risky. But staying silent means prison time for Derek. Exactly. He's caught either way. We're just offering him a choice of which prison, federal witness protection or general population. What about Emily? Is she safe? Once Derek testifies, yes. Moretti will have bigger problems than chasing down an ex-wife. He'll be fighting federal charges, and we'll provide protection until then. How long? Weeks. Maybe a month. Then this is over. Derek goes to prison or witness protection. Either way, he's out of your lives. Derek took the deal, agreed to testify against Moretti, provided financial records, names, dates, everything he knew. In exchange, reduced charges, 3 years in minimum security federal prison, no violent offenders, eligible for parole in 18 months. He'll be safe there, Frank explained. Moretti can't reach him, and when he gets out, he'll be under supervised release. Probation. Limited contact with Emily and his son. What about the divorce? Fast-tracked. Given the federal case, judge wants everything resolved quickly. Final hearing is next week. At the hearing, Derek appeared via video. From jail. Looking defeated. Broken. Nothing like the confident man he pretended to be. Mr. Harrison, you've agreed to the terms of this divorce? Yes, Your Honor. Full custody to Emily Cole Harrison. You get supervised visitation upon release from prison. Maximum 2 hours weekly. All costs paid by you. Child support of $1,200 monthly. Starting immediately. Yes, Your Honor. Division of assets. Emily receives the house, car, and all joint accounts. You retain your personal debt. All of it, including what you owe to criminal organizations. Yes, Your Honor. Do you have anything to say to your wife before I finalize this? Derek looked at the camera. At Emily sitting in the courtroom. I'm sorry for everything. I was a terrible husband, terrible father. I know that now. I hope someday you can forgive me. Emily said nothing, just stared straight ahead. Divorce granted. This marriage is dissolved. All terms effective immediately. The judge banged her gavel. It was over. Emily cried, not from sadness, from relief. I'm free, really free. He can't hurt me anymore. No, I agreed. He can't. Outside the courthouse, Vanessa hugged Emily. You did it. You survived. You're starting over. I couldn't have done it without you, without my dad, without everyone who helped. That's what good people do. They help. They protect. They stand up to abusers. We celebrated quietly. Dinner at my house. Just Emily, her son, and me. Simple meal. Nothing fancy. But it felt like a victory. Dad, I need to ask you something. All that evidence you gathered, the cameras, the recordings, the investigations, that wasn't just a retired guy protecting his daughter, was it? I smiled. What gave it away? Everything. The way you handled Derek, the connections you called, the FBI agent who took your calls immediately, the organized crime investigation you somehow initiated. Nobody can do all that unless there's someone important. I used to be someone important. What did you do? Before retirement, I was FBI. 35 years. Started as a field agent. Became special agent. Eventually headed the domestic violence and organized crime task force. Her mouth dropped open. You were FBI for 35 years? Why didn't you ever tell me? Because I retired when your mother got sick. Walked away from everything to care for her. After she died, I stayed retired. Put that life behind me. Became just your dad. Emily stared at me. Just my dad? Dad, you're FBI. You ran task forces. How is that just anything? Because that's who I wanted to be. Not Special Agent Martin Cole. Just Martin. Your father. Your support. Someone normal. But when Derek threatened me, you became Special Agent Cole again. I became whoever I needed to be to protect you. That's what fathers do, retired or not. Derek kept calling you a retired old man, living on a pension, watching TV all day. I let him believe that. Better if he underestimated me. Made him careless. Made him show his true nature. He had no idea who you were, what you were capable of, what resources you had. No, he saw a threat and dismissed it. Biggest mistake he made. What about that last thing he said? In the courtroom? About you having no idea what's coming. I'd wondered about that too. Derek's parting threat. Cryptic. Ominous. Frank's investigating. Seeing if Derek knows something we don't. If there's another threat we haven't identified. Could Moretti come after us? Even with Derek cooperating? Unlikely, but we're maintaining security. Cameras. Monitoring. Frank's people are watching Moretti's organization. Any move toward you, they'll know immediately. Emily was quiet, processing everything. Finally, she said, my whole marriage, I felt weak, incompetent, like Derek said, like I couldn't handle anything. That was his manipulation, making you doubt yourself, question your worth. Classic abuser tactic. But I am strong, aren't I? Incredibly strong. You survived 2 years of abuse, raised a child, maintained a home, and when you finally saw the truth, you had the courage to leave, despite fear, despite uncertainty. That strength. I learned from the best. She hugged me. Thank you for being my dad, for protecting me, for never giving up on me even when I'd given up on myself. I'll always protect you, always be here. That's a promise. 2 weeks later, Frank called with an update. Moretti's been arrested. Federal charges. Racketeering. Wire fraud. Loan sharking. Extortion. We got him on everything. What about his organization? Dismantled. Key members arrested. Others scattered. It'll take them years to rebuild if they ever do. So Emily's safe? Completely. Moretti's looking at 20 years minimum. His people have bigger concerns than an ex-daughter-in-law. And Derek, prison transport next week. Minimum security facility in Pennsylvania, far from here. He'll serve his time quietly. Be released in 18 months if he behaves. Will he? Probably. Prison is good motivation to follow rules. He'll be a model inmate. Get out early. Start over somewhere else. Life slowly returned to normal. Emily moved into her own apartment. Small but safe. Fresh start. She enrolled her son in preschool. Got a part-time job. Started rebuilding her life. I'm not the same person I was a year ago, she told me one evening. I'm stronger, more aware, more careful about who I trust. That's growth. That's healing. I'm in therapy, processing everything. The abuse, the marriage, the divorce. My therapist says I have PTSD from emotional abuse. That's common. The trauma is real even without physical violence. She's helping me recognize patterns, red flags, warning signs I missed with Derek, so I never make those mistakes again. Are you dating? God, no, not ready. Maybe not for years. Right now, I'm focusing on me, on my son, on building a stable, healthy life. That's wise. Besides, I have terrible judgment in men. Clearly, I married Derek. You were young, in love. He hid who he really was. That's not bad judgment. That's being human. Still, next time, if there's a next time, I'm introducing any potential partner to you immediately. Get your FBI background check. Make sure they're not secretly terrible. I laughed. Deal. Months passed. Emily thrived. Her son grew. Started talking more. Smiling more. The darkness that had hung over their lives lifted. One evening, Emily called. Dad, I got a letter. From Derek. Prison mail. What does it say? He's apologizing again. Saying he's in therapy. Working on himself. Asking if he can write to me. Stay in contact. What do you want to do? I don't know. Part of me wants to forgive him. Move on completely. Let go of anger. And the other part? Remembers everything he did. Everything he said. Doesn't trust that people really change. Both parts are valid. You don't owe him forgiveness. You don't owe him contact. You only owe yourself peace. What would you do? I'd wait. See if his actions match his words when he's released. See if he truly changed or just learned better manipulation tactics. Trust takes time. Earned through consistency. Not promised through letters. That's good advice. I've had practice. She threw away the letter. Didn't respond. Maintained boundaries. 6 months later, Vanessa called. Emily, Derek's lawyer contacted me. He wants to relinquish parental rights completely. No more visitation. No more child support obligations. Clean break. Why would he do that? He's saying it's for your son's benefit. That he doesn't want to cause more trauma. That stepping back completely is the right thing. Do you believe him? I think he's realizing parenting from prison, then supervised visitation after release, is harder than he expected. I think he wants an easy out. But whatever his motivation, the result is the same. You'd have full custody. No strings attached. What do you recommend? Take the deal. Get it in writing. Make it official. You'd be free of him completely. Emily agreed. Papers were signed. Derek's parental rights were terminated. He was legally no longer connected to his son. No rights. No obligations. No claims. How do you feel? I asked her afterward. Relieved. Sad. Guilty. Everything at once. That's normal. I feel like I failed somehow. Like I should have made the marriage work, made our family work. Emily, you can't make a relationship work alone. It takes two people committed to health, honesty, and respect. Derek wasn't committed to any of those things. The failure is his, not yours. A year after the divorce, Emily was different, confident, independent, strong. She got a promotion at work, moved to a bigger apartment, started dating again. Carefully. His name is Thomas. He's a teacher, elementary school. We met at my son's preschool. Tell me about him. He's kind, patient, good with kids. Nothing flashy, nothing fake, just genuine. Have you told him about Derek? Yes, everything. The abuse, the divorce, the drama. I figured that scared him away. Better to know early. And he didn't run. Said everyone has a past. What matters is how we grow from it. I like him already. When can I meet him? Next week? Casual dinner? Nothing fancy. Perfect. I met Thomas. Ran my mental checklist. How he treated Emily. How he interacted with her son. How he talked about his own life and values. He passed every test. Thomas seems like a good man. I told Emily later. He is. Very different from Derek. Steady, honest, no games, no manipulation. How do you know? Because I learned. I can spot the warning signs now, the red flags, the subtle control tactics. Thomas is none of that. Good, but stay vigilant. Keep your boundaries. Trust your instincts. I will. And Dad, thank you for everything, for saving me, for showing me what real strength looks like, for never giving up. That's what family does. Meanwhile, Derek was released from prison. 18 months served. Good behavior. He moved to another state, got a job in sales, different industry, started over. I tracked him through my FBI contacts, made sure he stayed away, stayed clean. Derek's in Arizona. Frank updated me, working for a small marketing firm. Staying out of trouble, no gambling, no debt, attending required therapy. Think he's really changed? Maybe. Prison and federal charges are good motivators, but I'm watching him. If he steps out of line, we'll know. Derek never contacted Emily again, never tried to see his son, completely disappeared from their lives. Do you think he thinks about us? Emily asked once. Probably, but thinking and acting are different. He made his choice. To stay away, to move on. That's the one good decision he's made. I don't miss him, but I wonder sometimes if my son will ask about his father. What I say, you tell him the truth, age appropriately, that his father made bad choices, hurt people, had to leave, that you both are better and safer without him. That's a hard truth, but it's honest. Better than lies or fantasy stories about a father who doesn't deserve that protection. 2 years after the divorce, Emily got engaged to Thomas. They dated carefully, slowly, building trust through time and consistency. The proposal was simple. At home, nothing flashy. Just Thomas asking if Emily wanted to spend her life with him. She said yes. The wedding was small, family and close friends only. Nothing like her first wedding. No pretense, no performance, just genuine celebration. I walked her down the aisle again, but this time felt different. This time I trusted the man waiting at the altar. This time I knew Emily was making a choice from strength, not need. Take care of her, I told Thomas before the ceremony. Always, he promised. And if I ever see warning signs, if I ever think you're hurting her, I'll end you. Understand? I'd expect nothing less, sir. I respected that answer. The wedding reception was everything Emily's first wedding wasn't. Authentic, happy, real. No one was performing. No one was hiding. Just people celebrating love. During the father-daughter dance, Emily cried. These are happy tears, she clarified. I never thought I'd be here, married again. Happy, safe. You deserve this, all of this, because you fought for me, protected me, showed me I deserve better. You always deserved better. You just had to believe it. Derek tried to destroy me, make me think I was worthless. But you reminded me who I was, who I could be. You reminded yourself. I just provided support. More than support, you became a weapon. Used everything you knew, everything you were to save me. And I'd do it again, without hesitation. That's what fathers do. After the wedding, life continued. Emily and Thomas bought a house, had another child, a daughter. They named her Sarah, after Emily's mother. I became grandpa to two, watched them grow, played with them, spoiled them appropriately. Emily's son, now 6, never asked about Derek. Thomas was his dad in every way that mattered. The biological connection was irrelevant. One evening, Emily brought both kids to visit. We were in the backyard, kids playing, Emily and I watching. "I never told you something," Emily said. "What's that?" "When Derek was arrested that first time, when he violated the restraining order, when police took him away, he yelled something. I remember. That should teach him." "Right. He was talking about you, saying that should teach you not to mess with him, that you didn't know who you were dealing with." I laughed. The irony. He really had no idea who you were, what you'd done, what you were capable of. And that was his downfall. He underestimated everyone, underestimated you, underestimated me, thought he could control and manipulate without consequences. What do you think would have happened if you weren't FBI? If you were just a regular retired guy? Honestly, I think you would have eventually left anyway. Maybe it would have taken longer. Maybe the process would have been messier. But you're strong. You would have figured it out. I'm not so sure. I was so broken, so convinced I was the problem. But you're a fighter. Always have been, even when you didn't believe it. I learned from the best. We sat in comfortable silence, watching the kids, enjoying peace. "Do you ever think about Derek?" Emily asked. "Sometimes. Wonder if he really changed. If prison and losing everything taught him anything." "Frank still monitors him?" "Occasionally. Derek's clean, working, staying out of trouble. But Frank keeps a file, just in case." "Does Derek know?" "Probably suspects. Anyone with half a brain would realize that crossing an FBI agent's daughter has permanent consequences. That should scare him. It should, and hopefully does. Fear can be healthy. Keeps people in line when morals won't. 3 years after the divorce, I got an unexpected call. From Derek. "Mr. Cole? It's Derek Harrison. Please don't hang up." I almost did, but curiosity stopped me. "What do you want?" I wanted to apologize, properly, for everything I did. To Emily, to you, to my son. Little late for that. I know, but I'm in therapy. Real therapy. Working through my issues. My therapist said, I need to make amends. Take responsibility. So this is for your therapy, not for actual remorse. Both. I am remorseful. Genuinely. I was terrible, abusive, manipulative. Everything you said, and worse. I said nothing. Let him fill the silence. I know I can't undo what I did. Can't change the past. But I wanted you to know I understand now. Understand how wrong I was. How much damage I caused. Understanding doesn't fix anything. I know, but it's something. It's growth. It's change. Derek, why are you really calling? What do you want? I wanted to thank you for stopping me, for exposing me, for forcing consequences. If you hadn't, I would have continued, gotten worse, maybe become violent. You saved me from that. I didn't save you. I protected my daughter. What happened to you was incidental. Either way, your intervention changed my life, made me face myself. And I'm grateful. You destroyed my daughter's mental health, terrorized her, made her question her worth. And you want gratitude? No, I want forgiveness. Eventually, not today, maybe not ever, but someday. Forgiveness isn't mine to give. That's between you and Emily. And honestly, I hope she never forgives you. I hope she remembers exactly what you did, uses that memory to stay safe, to protect herself and her children. I understand. Do you? Really? Because you spent 2 years tearing her down, systematically destroying her confidence, making her believe she was worthless. That doesn't get erased with therapy and apologies. I know. I live with that guilt every day. Know I destroyed something beautiful. Someone beautiful. For no reason except my own brokenness. Your brokenness is an excuse. No, but it's an explanation. I was drowning. In debt. In addiction. In pressure. And instead of asking for help, I took it out on Emily. Made her suffer for my failures. That's the first honest thing you said. I'm trying to be honest now. With myself. With everyone I hurt. It's part of my recovery. Good for you. But Derek, hear this clearly. You stay away from Emily. From her family. From her life. If I hear you contacted her, approached her, anything, the consequences will be severe. I have no intention of contacting her. I relinquish my rights. Made a clean break. That's permanent. Good. Keep it that way. I will. And Mr. Cole, you were right about me. From the beginning, you saw exactly who I was. I wish I'd listened. I wish you'd never hurt my daughter. Me too. He hung up. I sat with a conversation, unsure how to feel. Was Derek genuinely changed? Or was this another manipulation? Another angle? I called Frank. Derek contacted me, apologizing, claiming he's changed. I know. He called me too. Asked if there was any way to clear his federal record. Start completely fresh. What did you say? That records are permanent. Consequences don't disappear. But he can live a clean life moving forward. That's his only option. Do you believe him? That he's changed? Doesn't matter what I believe. What matters is his actions. So far, he stayed clean. Stayed away. If that continues, then yes, maybe he's changed. But I'm not betting on it. I didn't tell Emily about Derek's call. Saw no reason to bring him back into her life. Even tangentially. Even through reported apologies. She was happy. Settled. Building a beautiful life with Thomas. That was enough. But I kept Derek's words in mind. About how my intervention saved him. Changed his trajectory. Forced consequences. It was true. Without action, Derek would have continued. Escalated. Maybe become physically violent. Maybe permanently damaged Emily's mental health. By exposing him. By using everything I knew and was, I'd stopped that progression. Protected Emily. Changed the outcome. That should teach him. Derek had said when police arrested him, mocking me, thinking he'd won something. But in the end, I had taught him that actions have consequences, that abusers don't win, that underestimating people is dangerous. 5 years after the divorce, Emily threw a party, celebrating her new job, director of a nonprofit helping domestic violence survivors. This is full circle, she told me at the party. Everything I survived. Everything I learned. Now I'm using it to help others. Your mother would be so proud. I think about her every day. About what she'd say. How she'd guide these women. She'd say exactly what you're saying. That survival is strength. That leaving takes courage. That healing is possible. I tell them about you too. About how my father saved my life. Showed me what protection looks like. What real love does. You don't need to make me a hero. But you are, to me, to everyone you've helped through helping me. Thomas approached. Emily, there's someone here who wants to meet you. A woman, mid-30s, nervous. Ms. Cole Harrison? I'm Rebecca. I was engaged to Derek Harrison. Years ago, before he met you. Emily's expression shifted. Cautious. I'm sorry, but I don't really want to discuss Derek. I understand, but I wanted to thank you. And your father. When your divorce became public, when Derek's abuse was documented, it helped me realize I wasn't crazy, that what I experienced was real. You were one of the women who filed a restraining order? Yes. Derek stalked me, threatened me, made my life hell for months after I ended our engagement, but I had no proof. No documentation. People thought I was overreacting. Until my case. Until your case. Until your father gathered evidence. Showed pattern behavior. Proved Derek was an abuser. Suddenly, my experience was validated. Believed. Real. She wiped tears. I just wanted to say thank you for being brave, for speaking up, for making it possible for others to be believed. Emily hugged her. I'm sorry you went through that. I wish I'd known. Wish someone had warned me. Would you have believed them before experiencing it yourself? Probably not. I thought I was different, that Derek loved me, that I could handle him. We all think that, until we can't, until we're drowning, until someone throws us a lifeline. Emily looked at me. My dad was my lifeline. Then thank him for me, for all of us, for every woman Derek might have abused if he hadn't been stopped. That evening, after the party, Emily and I sat on my porch. Meeting Rebecca was intense. How are you feeling? Sad for her. Sad for me. Sad for every woman who encounters someone like Derek, but also proud that your courage helped others. Yes, that too. It's strange. The worst experience of my life became the foundation for helping people, for changing laws, for raising awareness. That's how healing works. We transform pain into purpose. You did that too, with your FBI career. Used your skills to help people, stop criminals, protect families, and came out of retirement to protect mine. No regrets. What if you hadn't been FBI? What if you really were just a regular retired guy? Then I would have learned to be whatever you needed, would have hired investigators, consulted experts, found a way. Because that's what fathers do. Because that's what love does. Real love, the kind that protects, that fights, that never gives up. Emily leaned against me. I'm glad Derek underestimated you. Glad he thought you were just some old man living on a pension. So am I. His arrogance was his downfall. Made him careless. Made him show his true nature. He said that should teach you. But you taught him. We taught each other. He taught me that evil can hide behind charm. That abuse isn't always obvious. That protection requires vigilance. And you taught him that consequences are real. That every action creates ripples. That underestimating people, especially people protecting their families, is the biggest mistake anyone can make. We sat in comfortable silence. Stars overhead. Peace surrounding us. Derek was in Arizona, living a quiet life. Stayed away. Stayed clean. Whether truly changed or just scared into compliance, it didn't matter. He was gone from our lives. Emily was thriving. Thomas was a good man. The kids were happy. Rebecca and other women had found validation and healing. And I'd come out of retirement one last time. Used every skill, every connection, every resource to protect my daughter. Exposed an abuser. Dismantled a criminal organization. Ensured justice. That should teach him, Derek had said. And it did. Taught him that Martin Cole wasn't just a retired old man. Wasn't just someone to dismiss and disrespect. Was someone who'd spent 35 years in law enforcement, who knew how to investigate, gather evidence, build cases, and ensure consequences. Was someone who would use every tool available to protect his family. Was someone you underestimate at your own peril. Derek never knew who I was. Until it was too late. Until I'd documented everything. Until I'd built an unbeatable case. Until I'd ensured he'd never hurt my daughter again. And that was the greatest lesson of all. Don't judge people by appearance. Don't assume you know someone's story. Don't underestimate quiet strength, because a retired old man you dismiss might be the most dangerous person you've ever met, especially if you threaten his family. Emily smiled. I love you, Dad. I love you too, sweetheart. Always have. Always will. You saved my life. You saved your own life. I just provided the tools. We make a good team. The best team. And we did. Father and daughter. Survivor and protector. Two people who'd faced darkness and won. Who'd turned pain into purpose. Who'd shown that love, Real love looks like protection, looks like consequences, looks like never giving up. Derek learned that lesson too late, but he learned it. And somewhere in Arizona, working his sales job, attending his therapy, living his quiet life, he remembered underestimating Martin Cole, remembered thinking that should teach him, remembered realizing he had no idea who he was dealing with. And hopefully, that memory kept him honest, kept him away, kept him from ever hurting anyone again. Because some lessons you only need to learn once. And Derek Harrison had learned his.